Welcome to The Weird Sacred, the podcast where your weirdness is not something that needs to be fixed, it's where your magic lives. I'm Francheska, self-love coach, product alchemist, and a busy mama and wife who believes that healing can be real, raw, and still full of joy. Here we talk about crystals, energy, messy growth, moon phases, rituals, shadow works, a little paranormal, and everyday sacred shit, without the need to be perfect or have it all together. This space is for the ones who feel everything, that question everything if it's only in their mind, and are learning to love themselves through it all. So light a candle, take a deep breath, or just vibe with us in the car, and let's remember together why your weird is sacred. So today for our first episode, I'm sharing how I reclaim my weird, the real me underneath is all beautifulness, and how that journey connects deeply with the energy of this new moon. So let's get into it. I never really say this out loud before, not like this, but I never truly felt like I belong since I was a kid. And it's not that I didn't have friends, I did. I had people around me, my family, my school friends, but inside I always felt different. Like I was on the outside, like I was living in a world that makes sense for everyone else, but not for me. That feeling only got louder during my teen years. And when I got to college, I still felt it in the sense of being different, but I started letting go of the pressure to fit in. There was a kind of freedom in that, to be honest. But the real shit didn't hit the fan until motherhood arrived. Everything cracked open. I felt like I was losing myself. And I don't mean in the way that I stopped wearing makeup or dressing up, because that's always been me. I like to look pretty and doll up. And especially lately, it's kind of magical, like a ritual for me. So it wasn't that. It was deeper. It was the disconnection from my essence, the inner core of who I am, except that I didn't even know who that was. So I started creating, not because I had a big plan, but because I've always loved making things. Creating gave me life when everything fell flat. At first, it was just for me, something to ground myself, to feel something or feel a little bit more like myself again. But slowly my creations turned into a business. And entrepreneurship, that's no joke. That thing is straight up shadow work with shipping labels, and it's gonna slap you so hard. Every unprocessed emotion, every limiting belief, every fear, everything came back, knocking to my door to say, hello, I'm here. But this time I didn't run. I leaned in, and my family and I had to relocate, and I had to start again. But it wasn't bad, it was time. It was not so much about products anymore. I had a clear vision, a deepened purpose, and those products weren't just beautiful, nice things, they were tools, little anchors to remind us who we are. And in that process, I realized I had something so much to offer. So I trained and studied and became a self-love coach. And let me tell you, that was another deep work. Because when you can finally name the chaos in your mind and your body, that's powerful and painful. But with time, I started claiming my weird. And I slowly, almost unconsciously, choose to unleash my weirdness. And with every choice, I start feeling more aligned. How I spoke, how I create, how I show up. It wasn't about fitting in anymore. It was about showing up fully unedited. And honestly, I'm still learning. I still growing every day. I still healing every day. But for the first time ever, I know I'm walking in alignment with what matters to me. And that's why the weird, it's sacred exists. Because I know I'm not the only one who felt like an outsider. I know I'm not the only one who had to lose themselves to finally come home. And that's really the heartbeat of this podcast, this space. Because if there's something I learned throughout all, is that the parts of us that we are being told that are too much, too loud, too sensitive, too deep, too weird, those are the actual parts that make us sacred. And maybe that's why this episode had to come out now. Right now, in the middle of some big cosmic energy, because we are heading into the full moon in Aquarius on August 9. And the energy is wild, rebellious, and so aligned with this message. Aquarius asks us to break free from outdated beliefs, from societal expectations, from the pressure to be who we are not. It's all about personal freedom, creativity, and collective healing. And honestly, that's exactly what this podcast is about. Reclaiming your truth. Letting go of the box that you were never meant to fit in. And remembering that healing doesn't have to be quiet, perfect, or pretty. It can be weird, it can be loud, it can be glittery and raw, it can be soft. It can be all things at once. This full moon is the perfect invitation to release whatever version of yourself you have outgrown and to call in the ones that've been waiting underneath it all, the real you. So yeah, this launch wasn't accidental. It's aligned, it's divine, and it's time. So thank you so much for being here, for pressing play, for being open to your own remembering. Here's your gentle invitation for today before we go. And I want you to think, what part of you have you labeled as weird, and can you start calling it sacred? Meditate on that. If you're like me, maybe you want to journal that, And if this episode cracks something open on you, even if it's just a little bit, share it. Send it to a friend who's also reclaiming her weird. Tag me on Instagram so I can share on you, and you can leave a comment sharing your own weirdness. So until next time, stay soft, stay sacred, and please, please stay weird. I'll see you in the next one.